Good evening. Welcome back to Story Reckless. I am Nathan. I will be your DM this evening, and I use he/him pronouns. Let's pass it off to our two players here to do their intros.
I'm Claire. My pronouns are they, them. I'm playing Quidam. Oh, good.
My name is Olive. I use they and she pronouns, and I am playing Lovelace, Centaur Barbarian turned detective, I guess. I'm a detective now. Detective Barbarian.
Detective Barbarian. Detective Centaur Barbarian.
It's great. It's gonna go great.
You're gonna rage investigate. It'll be amazing. Yeah, well, on that note, let us do a quick little recap here as we jump right back in. So last time we left off, Quidam and Lovelace had finally tracked down where these Gingwatsums were coming from, these strange ectoplasmic creatures that can take on the shape of inanimate objects. It appeared to come from a group of jackal wearers residing within Baldur's Gate that own a bookshop and have been creating these Gingwatsums of rare texts to sell them off for profit and hold on to the originals in hopes of selling them again sometime down the road. Turns out their leader, Corvala, spoke with both Quidam and Lovelace about why they were doing this and that they had lost someone very near and dear to them, and they were hoping to save up enough money, enough gold to pay for a resurrection ceremony, which is incredibly expensive. Thankfully, nothing devolved into violence. Quidam and Lovelace were able to calmly ask if they could just look at the original copy, and they would be happy to leave them to their devices and let them continue doing what they're doing. So Corvala brought them the book. They read through it, and they discovered what they need to try to destroy this slithering tracker and ways to hopefully find it. It seems that this strange creature created via some sort of ritual will often be drawn to places it knew in life and those it knew in life. So Lovelace and Quidam have set out to find the original victims or those related to those victims and find out what they can. So with that, well, I guess briefly I should mention that Lovelace and Quidam have split up. Lovelace has just finished talking to one of the victims, a woman, didn't talk to the victim, but the victim's family, a woman named Ramira, talked with her husband, Jorge, and her sister. And after talking with them, Lovelace discovered a name. Oh, someone's calling for you.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I put a sign on my door and everything. Do not disturb. Love my housemates.
Amazing. Yes, so Lovelace, you did get a name. Potentially another victim. You're not sure. You couldn't remember the name from the victims you found before, but a woman by the name of Beatrice. And so you are setting out back into the neighborhood of Norchapel to see if you can find where this woman lives. Quidam, on the other hand, you have decided to go and see your dads and see if they may know anything about the most recent victim who perished within the Stony Eyes neighborhood where your dads reside. So, with that, let us pick up with Quidam as you head on through the Stony Eyes district, through the various stables and butcheries and knackeries, and make your way... Oh no! The immersion! It's okay, Olive, don't worry. And make your way to your dad's residence. As you approach, you can see the relatively narrow rectangular home of your dad's, and just behind it, the rather large complex of stables and pens that make up... oh dear, I don't remember the name of it. Do you remember the name of it?
It's a menagerie.
It's a menagerie. Well, point is, it's a well-known stable and menagerie. Doesn't really matter. But you approach their home, And much like you'd expect, being, about 10 in the morning, you can see that Jasper is sitting out front on a cut log with a small piece of wood in his hand, whittling away at it. What would you like to do?
I have a slight surge of embarrassment as I remember that I have been using his name for some of these not so clandestine adventures. But I will go up to him.
That's
and
right.
not tell him that I have been dragging his name through the dirt.
That's right. You've gone to multiple places and used the alias Jasper instead of your name.
Hey, Dad.
You step up and see him sitting there whittling. He is a much older man, and as he looks up, you can see all of the great deep lines in his face as he smiles towards you. He's definitely on the shorter side, with bright white shoulder-length hair and equally white, sparse beard. His light brown skin and bright brown eyes go wide as you approach. Quidam.
I will,
And he
hug him.
slowly stands up, comes in and pulls you in, starts slapping you on the back.
How long's
Back?
it been?
Oh, almost 210 day at this point, I think.
Too long. How's
I
Cortea?
know. She's all right.
I haven't seen her in a while. I was hoping she'd come by soon. You talked with her recently?
I have actually. She sends her regards.
Oh, that's good. Well, what brings you by? Bureau's out working.
Sure.
You want to
Oh,
come in? Have
Yeah.
a bit. All right.
He heads on over to the front door, opens it up, and steps inside to reveal this common area with a table and a small cooking area off to the side. And you can see off to your right, the door is a bit ajar, and you can see all the tools and knickknacks of the carpentry wood shop just inside there. As he goes over towards this stone-top stove with a little bit of a fire still going on underneath, and he grabs a big iron kettle and sets it over the fire as it starts to boil. Turns over.
Hey, still drinking tea?
Oh
Or-
yeah.
Or would you like some
Always.
coffee? Oh,
Hey,
still.
please.
All right. I'll get you some tea going.
You still haven't converted me.
Yeah, well, one of these days. I don't know how you get on with your day with just that tea.
And he starts getting it ready to go.
So, what brings you by?
Well, I wanted to tell you both I was back home.
Oh, you were gone. That's right. Were you with somewhere?
Yeah, went to Candlekeep actually.
Oh, right. Yeah, did you find any good books? Any good stories?
Good stories, yeah. A couple of good people. The
Takes
books
it-
were hit or miss.
Oh,
He takes the kettle off, starts pouring, comes over.
Actually, they mostly hit.
well, what do you mean by that?
Well, we were actually attacked by a couple of books. I don't imagine you've ever been beaten about the head by flying books before, have you?
What?
Yeah.
Flying books? Was somebody
Weird
throwing them at
experience.
you?
No, they were enchanted. There's a lot of magic over there.
Oh, wow. Enchanted books. Oh boy, I can't wait to tell people about that. Will you regale me with the tale?
I will tell him
Yeah.
about Little One and probably a slightly sanitized version of our trek through the mansion. but I will talk about like the broom that we are sure was a terrifyingly powerful thing, and about the fairy dragons and how clever and funny they were.
Yeah. After you finish up the tale, he just grabs your hand and goes,
Oh, poor Kuman. I can't believe that happened. This just seemed like such a wonderful creature. Oh,
Yeah.
I hope one day, maybe, as you mentioned, that maybe those folks will return and they can bring him back. That would be
Maybe so.
wonderful.
Maybe so. How have you been?
Oh, all right. We're just getting by. Bureau's doing his best.
Do you need anything? Can I help in any way?
No, thanks, Quidam. We're gonna be just fine. How about you? You're doing all right?
I'm hanging in there. I don't know that traveling agrees with me terribly well, but
Oh yeah, you were just somewhere. Where were you? Weren't
yeah,
you
we were out
traveling?
in
Candlekeep. Oh,
Candlekeep.
did you find some good books?
We did, yeah.
Oh, well, you'll have to tell me about it. One of these days when you have the time.
Sounds good. I have actually been wondering. We went because we've been having these weird deaths in Norchapel for a while.
Oh,
We wanted to figure out what they were about. I think I mentioned that to you before I left.
yeah, yes, that's right. There was, a number had died under
Yeah.
strange circumstances.
Yeah, very strange circumstances. So good news is we figured out what's causing it,
Oh,
and now we're just trying to find it.
you know, someone passed recently.
Yeah.
One of our neighbors.
Neighbors.
Oh, yeah, real fine fellow.
Which one? I might know this person.
His name was Dimitri. He used to come by after work. I would tell him, we enjoy talking with each other, and I noticed he wasn't coming by, and then heard it through the gossip. Found him dead. It made me think of you, though.
Yeah?
Well, yeah, he was found in his home. Doors were locked, all the windows shuttered. Oh, poor guy.
Do I know Dimitri? Was he here when I was living here?
How long ago do you think you moved away?
I moved out like 35 years ago. It's been a bit.
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Human man?
You could ask.
I am.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, oh yeah, a human, on the younger side. Real tragic. Well, so if you think that one might be related, what caused it?
There's a creature called a slithering tracker. We think it's been going around and drowning folk.
Oh, drowning him.
Yeah, it looks like a puddle.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Like, I heard stories about beings made from the elements. The water, fire,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, something like that. We're trying to get a hold of a specific magic item that we know will take care of it very quickly.
Ooh.
But we're well, we're trying to figure something out. But I highly recommend that you avoid standing water as much as you can, Dad. I know that's near impossible around here, but don't walk through puddles, at least.
All right, you know why it's killing folks?
We don't. We're trying to figure that out.
Okay. Well, you be careful.
I will.
He's going on real adventures, huh?
Evidently.
Hope it, just stay safe.
I'll do my best, Dad. I just want to help everyone else be safe, too.
Oh, of course.
Do you have an idea when Ada might be home?
Well, he usually comes around sunset these days.
Alright.
You're welcome to stay here if you like. Love to catch up with you.
Yeah. That sounds nice. I might... How weird would it be for me to go and knock on Dimitri's door? Does anyone else live with him?
I don't think so. I think he was living alone. But I think he worked not too far though. He was a butcher. You could try talking, maybe, what's the name of it? Well, there's at least two butchers nearby. Guthmir's or Guthmir's Cured Meats or Hamhock's Slaughterhouse. Either of those, maybe you could check by there. I don't know if anyone's living at his place now.
Alright. Who found him, do you know?
I don't know. That's a good question. I can't recall.
Alright. Well, thank you, Dad. This is quite helpful.
Yeah. Well, are you gonna stay or do you need to get going?
I can stay for a little bit. I might want to poke around Dimitri's house before I leave, though.
Okay, well, you be careful, right? No
Oh, yeah.
puddles or anything.
No, absolutely no puddles.
All right, well, can I interest you in some tea? Well, I already got you some. Okay, would you like a bite to eat then?
Sure.
All right.
He'll go over and start whipping something up, and yeah, you can spend the morning with your dad.
Yeah,
Is there
do
anything
that.
else you want to ask questions? Any other questions you would like to ask of him? Otherwise,
I mean, just kind of general catching up.
Yeah.
Happy to hear the gossip and what he's been up to. Ask about his current woodworking project.
yeah,
Just kind of catching up.
catching up. Yeah. I mean, he serves you up a couple eggs with some really dense bread, and he tells you about how Bureau's been working really late these days, getting up early. He asks you again about Cortea, and in terms of woodworking projects, he excitedly brings you in to show you a small wooden toy that he's working on right now, a small little wooden horse with what looks to be some sort of warrior kind of carved on the back, that he's getting ready to give to one of the neighborhood kids whose birthday is coming up. Yeah, but otherwise, yeah, easy enough to catch up with them and you get all the updates. I think as we wrap up there, maybe we do a cutaway back to Lovelace as you are starting to make your way down dense bread. You start making your way down into the Norchapel neighborhood, What would you like to do, Lovelace? You were told that Ramira, Ramira's sister. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I repeat like what I?
Yeah,
think I
actually,
know?
that would be probably better.
Yeah. So, first victim was Ramira. She was a farmer on the outskirts, found in her chicken coop. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Be right back.
All right. Well, while Olive is dealing with the smoke detector, I'll ask you, Quidam. What are you thinking of doing next?
Poking around Dimitri's house.
Okay. Yeah.
Hold up.
I think Lovelace is good to go.
We have the world's most sensitive smoke detector.
Does it go off from just about anything? Steam?
Just about anything. We need to have a fan running. Yeah. So. Yeah. So we found her in the chicken coop. Her husband was very sad. Apparently, like the slithering tracker is like a avatar of like past drama, and so like I'm trying to like get like scandals and stuff, anything that like people were involved with here, that somebody might have wanted revenge for. And the only lead I got out of this was I heard from the victim's sister that there's this woman named Beatrice who is like receiving free eggs and like gossiping a lot with the victim. So I figured that Beatrice probably like would know what Ramira might have been involved in.
Okay.
So I'm looking for Beatrice, who we don't know where she lives.
Yeah, you got just that she lives somewhere in the North Chapel neighborhood, but they don't know exactly where.
How does one go about finding somebody in Hilder's Gate?
I don't know. Go about. I don't know. What do you think?
Does 5e have gather information anymore?
Yeah, we can. So for something like this, we can either gamify it like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for the case of this, when you find a lead, basically we will kind of montage how you find like how to get to the spot, and then we'll kind of go more into the mechanics heavy aspect. Yeah. So, yeah. Do you want to go around asking folks, like talking with folks about who this Beatrice may be?
Yeah, probably like asking any like water sellers. Are there water sellers here, or like?
That's a good question. I mean, I think most of the water sources are all from wells, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we're quite at the stage where people are selling water. Maybe an upper city. But yeah, no, I don't think there's any people selling water. So.
Yeah, I guess like going around with like a description.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. You got a description of this woman.
Large, stocky woman, thick, bushy bun with bits sticking out.
Yeah. Yeah. As you go around the North Chapel neighborhood, speaking with folks you know, and eventually having to start talking with others you don't, you find yourself being drawn further and further away towards the eastern side of the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, you do find some folks who recognize the description you give and then immediately recognize the name. Seeming... you get the sense this woman, at least the areas that she was passing through, pretty late, please. Yeah, listen. Selling water. Anyways, you get the sense this woman, at least the areas that she went by, she was pretty talkative and got to know people, and people do recognize her. And you also start picking up that folks haven't seen her in a while and are asking you if you may know where she may be. You are directed towards the eastern side of North Chapel, a little past Calamsham, almost to the Whitekeep district, and you find yourself in a denser portion of North Chapel, kind of a densely packed section of wooden homes. and you are pointed towards where Beatrice lived. You see this small weathered building with a peaked roof and shuttered windows, and the other homes are packed tightly around it and divided by muddy paths that snake between the buildings. What would you like to do?
Go up and knock.
Okay. You trot on up, and again, this is an area where there are no paved roads. It's just these kind of sloshy, muddy paths. And you trot up to the door and give a brisk knock on it.
Mm-hmm.
You notice as you rap on the door, it seems to be very dense and almost soft. Just kind of dull, like...
Like waterlogged, one might say.
Maybe. So you rap on the door. Nothing happens.
Is it locked?
You want to try opening it?
Heck yeah.
Okay. You go and push on the door. It starts to give a little, and then and it pops open. It seems as though the door had swollen a bit in its frame. It was a bit hard to get loose, and you were able to
Like
push
it was
open.
waterlogged, Nathan?
Maybe.
Yeah, let's head on in there.
Okay. You trot inside the interior of this home, and you find yourself standing in a room, a very dimly lit room, just a bit of light shining through the shutters. And you realize that everything in here seems to just be rotting and smells of mildew. There's a cold fire pit that makes up the center of the room with what looks to be a very dirty pot hanging over it. And off to the right, there is a bit of a round table with 2 chairs on either side, but the chairs themselves have basically collapsed into bits onto the floor. At the back of the room, you can see there are 2 doors leading into other rooms. The one on the right is slightly ajar.
Gonna brace myself for the worst and expect to find a body. Let's,
As you are standing here, I'm going to point out one thing that suddenly comes to you. You've been here before.
Oh, have I?
This was... It's starting to come back to you. This was the first house you ever went to. This was a woman...
Oh, so this was one of the victims.
Well, let's have you
rolled
roll.
an-
Let's have you roll for this. Roll a. What did you roll?
I mean, I rolled a 19 for this question last.
That's true. Yeah. So you remember this. This was a woman named Eleanor that you had found who had died in this strange way.
Oh.
She was the first one to have died.
So maybe Eleanor / Beatrice were the same person, or like lived together, and so Beatrice might now be gone. Interesting. Are there any papers or anything I can find, like hidden notes in like a rooftop rafter where like somebody would like hide letters from like a lover? I would like to make a search check, is what I'm saying.
Make a perception check for me.
Perception. D20 plus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 13.
Okay. You start looking around this space and going a little deeper in to search like where the table is, and you go off to the left where you can see there's a bunch of like cupboards or shelves with old bits of rotting food and whatnot. And the first thing you notice, much like the door, as you're moving across the wooden floor, it's spongy and damp. And as you're moving through the room, searching through these cabinets and whatnot, You don't see anything that look like papers. You look up in the rafters, you don't see anything hidden up there. There's the two other rooms, and as you look towards them, you do see that the room on the left with the closed door, the floorboards in front of it look to be in very poor shape. And if you were to put any weight on it, they would probably collapse.
I don't want to run into the slithering tracker. I don't want to fall down into a basement full of puddles. Oh, it might be time to go get Quidam here, because I don't got anything that can hurt a puddle. And, like, it'll probably keep. I can, like, reclose the door, right? I didn't, like...
You didn't break it, no.
I didn't break it? Okay. Ah, nah! I'm here! Might as well do this. Let's do this. Okay.
What would you like to do?
Ooh, can I, like, put some furniture down or something to, like, make a bridge over the, like, broken weak floorboards?
You could step around it. It's like a patch in front of the door, but it would be easy enough to try to, like, push the door open and
okay, let's do that.
around. So do you want to go into the room on the left?
Heck yeah, I do.
Okay. All right, you head over to that door and kind of lean over this rotted patch of wood. And you can even see, looking down through the floorboards, there's this little bit of yellow fungus or mold or something that's kind of poking up through the floorboards. You push the door open. It's unlocked. It's able to swing open, revealing the room inside. Oh, sorry, it would be a pull. You pull it open. Whatever. Doesn't really matter. But you pull the door open, looking into the room on the other side. Inside this room, as you look, lean around the corner to look, you can see there's a wooden dresser that stands directly in front of you. Resting on top of it, it looks like there's a small mirror set with a painted frame. And the drawer of the dresser is kind of opened a bit. There's some mildewed clothes spilling out of it. And as you look in through the doorway off to the left, as the room extends outwards, you can see a very moldy bed resting in the corner, just covered in black spots of mold.
Does Lovelace know about dangerous fungi that could lead this into being a combat situation?
Make a survival check.
I would love to. Survival is something I have thanks to Tasha's giving barbarians an extra skill point. 15.
15. You looking in this room, the mold and mildew does not look dangerous in the way that you're thinking. And it probably won't be dangerous even just to be in the room with it. It just looks to be pretty common stuff. However, that yellow mold that's growing up through the floorboard, you recognize that, and it is called yellow mold. That can be very dangerous if it's disturbed. It will release a cloud of spores that can cause a lot of harm and potentially kill you.
Okay, I'm gonna get like a bandana or something and tie that around my face, because that's probably good just for like even non-aggressive flora.
Yeah.
And then let's go through that dresser, stepping carefully around any floorboards that might look like they might collapse.
Okay. You step over the floorboards into the room, up to the dresser, and start pouring through it. The dresser seems to just be filled with just these moldy clothes. All look to be relatively mundane. They do appear to be a number of dresses. You do see some work pants in there. One item of clothing, though, that kind of catches your eye up in that top dresser, that's more neatly folded. You pull it out, and it appears to be a white apron, but there are a bunch of kind of faded stains all on the front of it. Relatively dark, almost ruddy brown in color.
Oh, like blood, is what you're saying.
You also find in that top drawer a comb, a really beautiful comb with an ivory handle, and this comb looks like far more expensive than anything in this home. You also note that the mirror set on top, as you're holding the comb up, it kind of catches your eye, and you look over towards it. Even though it's not in the best of shape, you notice that the frame itself is painted with exquisite detail depicting all sorts of livestock like chickens and pigs and cows, and it has these beautiful silver filigree that kind of runs along the edges. Also looks to be incredibly nice.
Can I check out for like an inscription or something, like "To my beloved" from
Sure.
the murderer who will become a tracker?
Yeah. Make an investigation check for me.
To love those plus zeros.
Yeah.
8.
You don't see any inscriptions on either. They
Well,
just look
is
to
the
be...
mirror set small enough to pocket then?
I imagine it's... I mean, yeah, if you have like we'll say you have like a satchel probably,
Yeah.
or something bigger. Yeah, you could pocket it.
Okay, I'm gonna take both that and the comb.
Okay.
I might be able to show it to somebody to see if they recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
And it might get lost in the shuffle, and I can just take it for myself later.
It does look...
knows?
Both of them look very nice. Like they would be worth a lot.
Mm-hmm. I think we might be done here. There's no leads. Unless we wanted to go search the basement, which I don't want to do without Quidam.
Yeah, it seems there's one other room
Oh,
within the house.
yeah. There is one other room. Let's go do that one.
Okay. All right. You step out of this room and head over to the door that's slightly ajar and go inside. You find another bedroom. It's almost matching.
Maybe there is a second person then. Maybe Beatrice is different.
It's almost
Okay,
matching It's okay. It's almost matching the first one. It's just kind of mirrored. There's another dresser, and another bed in the corner. You do notice though in this room, the thing that catches your eye, you can see that hanging on the wall next to the dresser, just as you enter the room to your left, there is a maroon doublet and pants with a pair of leather boots resting on the ground.
What's a doublet?
It's like a fancy, like top, like a long sleeve kind of shirt thing. Am I right, Claire?
Mhm.
Right? It's usually kind of poofy, like.
Yeah, kind of the modern conception of a doublet is like late Elizabethan menswear. Actually, it's usually sleeveless. You can attach sleeves to it.
Right. Yeah.
But it's like a fabric or leather. I feel like a modern equivalent would be a suit jacket.
Yeah, it's a fancy. It looks like kind of fancy garb. Like it looks kind of like a uniform.
Sorry, the thing stuck in my head is like those cargo pants where you can unzip the bottom halves of them, but fancy in a vest.
Honestly, yes. Like there would be like little eyelets probably, so that you could tie sleeves onto it.
Yeah.
If we're going late Elizabethan, early James.
I was picturing this as a sleeved top.
Okay.
So.
Has sleeves.
Okay, and it really looks like nobody's been here for a while. Like, am I being a burglar?
No, this looks abandoned. And you remember that where they found Eleanor, as you look back over your shoulder, was at that kitchen table in the common area.
Okay. Let's take a closer look at this maroon doublet and pants.
All right. As you walk up to the maroon doublet, you can see that on the chest of the doublet, there's a small embroidered crest.
Oh, that sounds like a clue. Hell yeah.
The crest depicts a boar's head with 2 meat cleavers crossed under the chin.
Boar's head. 2 meat cleavers. Sounds like the Butcher's crew, if I've ever heard them. Maybe. Do I recognize it?
Make a history check.
Man, Quidam, this might be easier if I had you. 12 straight.
12. Exactly what you needed.
Yes!
You do recognize this crest. This is the family crest to the patriarch family known as the Dlusker family. And they're best known for running the largest slaughterhouse, knackery, butcher shop in Stony Eyes, known as Hamhock's Slaughterhouse.
Say that name again?
Dlusker,
Dlusker.
Dlusker, Dlusker.
Thank you.
Very strange name. I could be pronouncing it wrong, but that's how I interpreted it. So
That makes sense to me.
Dlusker. And I'll say you probably you know what, you probably recognize too the uniform itself. You would know maybe from your past, like where you used to live. This is probably a porter's outfit, but for like kind of a privately contracted porter. A lot of the patriarchs will have their own porters that work for them to, deliver goods back and forth between home or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that is a lead. Is there anything else I can like search for?
You could search the dresser if you want, or the bed.
I mean, why not? Let's do both of those.
Okay. Going through the dresser, once more you find more clothing. You find a lot of dresses in there, as well as pants. And at the top, you find a paper scroll that has had the bottom of it chewed on and gnawed out by probably insects, just kind of tucked away in the corner.
I love paper scrolls.
Yeah?
Let's get on that.
Okay. You unfurl it and yellow mold goes everywhere. No. You unfurl the scroll, a small little scroll, and up at the top you see that same crest has been what appears to be like stamped, or maybe this is almost like a templatized thing, like it's been printed on. And reading through it, it seems to be a letter, and it's a letter of permission, granting whoever has it access into the upper city through Seagate and Manorborn Gate. However, the bottom of it has been nibbled away, so you could not see who the signature is that wrote it. But
So that would
you
mean
might
that
be able, you might be able to use it.
Maybe, especially if like I got like a forgery person to like use it as the base,
Possibly.
and just like scotch tape a piece of paper with the signature on the bottom. Well, that's rad. I'm gonna take that.
Okay.
He's gonna loot these dead victims' houses. It's good that Quidam's not here.
All right. You want to look at the bed?
Yep.
Okay. The bed, much like the other one, it's in pretty poor shape. This one, though, does not have nearly as much mold growing on it, just a little bits here and there. And there doesn't seem to be anything under the covers, but as you poke your head underneath, you do see that there is a hole in the floorboards. probably like no more than a foot wide.
Oh, that's so exciting.
And
Cool.
you can see that there are numerous animal droppings kind of around the floor, the hole. And
That's less exciting.
Yeah.
I was thinking like trapdoor, secret
Oh,
butcher
yes, I know it's a
body place.
it is like it's a very irregular hole, like it's been probably chewed through.
How large? Like medium-sized animal?
About a foot, maybe a bit more. So probably a larger animal. And there are little droppings around.
Yeah. Hide droppings. Okay. Now time to, I think, go meet up with Quidam.
Okay.
Gonna close the door behind me.
All right. Okay. You head out into the common area.
I haven't gotten to do some just like straight up looting in forever.
Yeah. I know, right? It's been a while. As you are leaving the through the common area, you do hear some movement in the original bedroom you were in. Something moving across the floor.
Take out my sword or my spear, I guess, and let's take a look at that.
Okay. You want to head into that room?
Just gonna peek in there. Heck yeah, I do.
Okay. Make a perception check for me.
Come on. I want this perception check to go well. 11. I have been rolling like not great today.
You peer around the corner, looking into the room. You don't see anything. No movement, no sign of life.
Oh, hell no. We just did this episode of invisible stalker things. What if I just hang out there? I'm not in a rush.
Okay.
I can just like 5 minutes.
Sure. So you're gonna hang out kind of
Just
next to the floorboards that might cave in, just kind of looking around the corner. Where do you want to be? Like, where do you want to be?
That sounds great. Right next to the floorboards that are about to cave in.
I mean, that's like, like if we were looking at this as a grid, right? Like on an actual
Yeah.
D&D map, it'd be like
Yeah.
that little 5-foot square in front of the door is the bad spot. And then there's the doorway.
Okay, maybe not on the bad spot. Now that you put it like that. But like off to the side, I'm probably like tall enough to have like my
Yeah.
centaur body.
Okay.
So my centaur body's on the non-bad spot.
Okay.
Like,
And you're outside
in
of the
doorway.
room.
And I'm outside of the room. And
Okay.
I'm just like hanging out there like I'm stalking an animal or something.
Okay. Make a stealth check for me.
That is something I can do. Come on. Stealth check is +4. All my skill checks are +4. 19!
Nice. You settle in. Maybe you've done this before hunting in your past, and you know the routine. So you settle in as quiet as you can, slow your breathing down, and just look very closely into that room, keeping an eye out for anything. Some time passes, and then you hear that movement again. A scratching on the floorboards, a skittering, and you watch as from under the bed you see, probably about the size of a small dog, this snout with coarse hair kind of pokes out, starts sniffing the air. Eventually it starts to come out a bit more, and you see this. It is a massive head of a rat. This thing is about, as I said, the size of a small dog, as this giant rat just crawls out from under the bed and starts to slowly work its way into the room. What would you like to do?
It's It's just a raccoon.
It is a giant rat. But
Okay, well.
no, it's just funny because I see everybody being like, a raccoon!
Oh boy.
But
Well,
yes, it was a
that's
rodent.
Mundane.
What would you like to do?
I think Lovelace is just gonna be like, wow. Hey there, little buddy.
Okay. And you can kind of see a little bit of white foam around the edges of the mouth as it.
Hey, we don't want any trouble here.
And it starts to move towards you. Its heckles up on its back.
We don't want that. And I think pull out the my pike with the 10-foot reach and just like kind of.
Are you trying to just keep it away?
Yeah, if it tries to get like within 10
Okay.
feet. So hey, why don't you go back in your hole and I'll head out of here.
Make an animal handling check for me.
Animal handling, you say?
Yes.
Oh, I have that. I'm doing so many skills that I have. Good job, past me. 11.
11. Also, I love that Tiny Valkyrie would take a rat over a raccoon any day. Raccoons are fearless.
And they're also smart.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess rats are smart too.
Yeah. Okay, with an 11, as you're trying to keep it away, it just looks at the tip of the spear and then looks up at you, and it darts out from around the sphere and comes running right up towards you. It's gonna try to bite onto you. So here, Lovelace, I'll show you where you are, since this is kicking off with just you and this giant rat. So it comes running around. I think it's light enough that it doesn't cause the floor to break under it where that mold is. But
I know what I want to do.
You see the floor kind of sagging as it comes running around the corner, and it leaps towards you. And it's gonna try to bite you. A 21 to hit. Wow.
Wow. Okay.
It hit. That is impressive. I was not expecting that. You suffer from... Oh, sorry, I have my DM thing on, I think, so you're not seeing my rolls. You only suffer from 3 points of piercing damage, but...
I need to make a con save!
Yes.
God! I knew it. Okay. Con is +5. This is gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. 17! Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you are good. You do feel those teeth sink into your, like right where you're near your hoof on your ankle, and it burns and hurts like hell as the thing falls back on the ground. And what do you want to do?
I want to attack the floor underneath it.
Okay. Okay. You no need to make an attack roll for that. It's easy enough to just. Do you just slam your spear down into the floorboards?
Yeah.
Okay, you slam your spear onto those floorboards, and the rat just, as it drops, it's gonna make a dex save. Because you would have made a dex save, so it's fair. Let's see. Oh, it makes it. It darts out of the way as the floorboards crumble, and you see this, like, slick, slimy patch of yellow mold growing all under the floorboards, and it's probably only about a 3-foot drop down there. It's not a huge drop, but it's just covered in this slick yellow mold as the rat darts off to the side. So that was one of your attacks.
If I was using the spear, that's my only attack.
Okay.
Unless
The
that's
rat
my
is
attack.
going to try to bite you again.
I think I might just do a rage here. I got them to spare. So
Okay.
let's do bonus action rage. I've been like playing other systems recently, so I'm
Yeah.
just like, wait, how do you play D&D? How many actions do you have? I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay, so you go into your rage, and this little rat is going to try to bite you. Not little, it's actually quite big. Yes, ROUSs. Here we go.
Man, that was such
Ooh.
a good idea.
Only a 6, so it misses as it tries to bite you, and I'm gonna say it pivots around, trying to get at you. It does, however. Yeah, no, I think it's just trying to bite you right now. It's in this kind of frenzy. What would you like to do? It only has 1 action.
Remind me how like pushing folks around in D&D works. Could I like wheel around it and like kind of kick it in?
Yes. So you make a strength athletics check, and I
Ooh,
believe
I'm good at those while raging.
I believe it does it's basically grappling. I think I could be wrong, but let's just do that because it's easy. So we'll do a contested athletics check.
So I have advantage on this and +5.
There's no way this thing is gonna. Okay, let's see what you get. Oh my god. Yeah. So this is not a problem for you as you just flick it with your hooves and it goes into the hole, tumbling down and slams into the yellow mold as it. Unfortunately, though, the yellow mold does release a cloud in a 10-foot. Let's see, 10-foot cube originating on the mold. So, 10-foot cube. Oh, that might. You might actually be okay. Because if it's a cube, it would be that, right? And it would. Yeah, I think you're far enough away. Yeah, you're fine. So you're just far enough away as you kick it, and you have that handkerchief wrapped around your mouth. You kick it, and you watch the rat just go tumbling in, and this big puff of yellow spores just goes up into the air. Little rat, poor little rat's gonna make a con
Poor
save.
little rat, buddy.
Poor
This
little-
rat's been rolling great.
Poor little
so
diseased
far.
rat. Oh, got an natural.
Ooh.
Okay, this rat is probably dead. Oh yeah. So as it tumbles into the hole and the spores go up into the air, you just hear it, and you just see its little paw kind of come up over the edge, just twitching, and then eventually the noise stops and the movement stops as you hear kind of kicking down below, and then comes to a stop. What would you like to do, Lovelace?
My work here is done. Let's head out.
Okay. Head on out of this small home and back out into the wider neighborhood of Baldur's Gate. Where are you headed next? And then we'll cut back to Quidam.
Quidam's parents' place.
Okay. So you go trotting on back over there.
Wait, sorry. So one more clarifying thing. So
Yeah.
the thing that the rat fell down into, that wasn't a basement. That was just kind of like the baseboards of the house.
Correct. It was like, yeah, it's like the, the crawl space, essentially. Yeah. Doesn't seem like there was a basement in the house.
Wait, I should have checked its little burrow, because maybe it collected things.
You want to?
Yeah.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
I think I do.
Okay.
You get a block away, and they're like, "Wait a minute,
Wait.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I'm in a D&D world.
11?
11. It's tricky. You're gonna have to, I guess, like, because you're a centaur,
I
move the
moved
bed out of the way, and then kind of kneel down and look down there, and you just see now.
Take a quick look.
Yeah, you see now clearly these are big rat droppings everywhere, and looking down in there, you don't see anything shiny.
Okay, I'm
catching
done.
your eye.
I'm done.
Okay.
That
All
was a
right.
thought.
Okay. So
Just gonna hop over that little spore mold pit.
And you head back towards Quidam's dad's house. I'm trying to think what's more interesting. It's probably better for you both for you just to arrive while Quidam is still there. I mean, Quidam, like, how long do you think you would stay before you go out and start doing things?
I'll probably head out like right around lunchtime.
Okay, yeah, I think it works out then. So, Lovelace, as you trot up to Quidam's dad's house, Quidam will say that you're just leaving and saying goodbye to Jasper. and you turn around and hear the clapping of hooves and see Lovelace trotting up.
Oh, hey.
Hey there, Quidam. How's your folks?
Fine, seemingly. I gesture to the house next door. I was just about to see what I could find out about their next door neighbor who was murdered a couple days ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Small
yeah,
world, I guess.
I guess.
Oh, geez. Are your folks okay?
Yeah, Dad seems fine. A little concerned. Evidently, he and Dimitri, the person who died, were friendly.
Mm-hmm.
How did your investigations go?
Well, actually,
Yeah.
I wanted to come back and compare notes with you before I go off and start talking to patriarchs.
I beg your pardon?
It probably won't come to that, and then I think I relay kind of like what the clues were.
Yeah.
The
There
fact
you go.
that the next lead seems to be talking to, what was that? The
Hamhock Slaughterhouse.
Hamhock Slaughterhouse.
That's that's one of the two places that Dad thought that Dimitri worked.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's, oh boy.
I'm curious about a couple things on your end. You said that this place was waterlogged?
Yeah, just rotting all the way through. I didn't see any puddles. There's a big rat, some mold.
The rat didn't happen to, like, talk to you, did it?
No, just mostly frothed. And
Alright.
then kind of screamed and then squealed, and then it petered out with these like choking gasps.
No magical transformations upon death?
No, I didn't look that carefully, but I don't think so.
Okay. I'm just thinking about that rat person we met on the way back home.
Oh, yeah,
Probably not connected, but it just occurred to me. All right. Well, shall we make a house call?
Yeah, sounds good. Or a slaughterhouse call? Is that
Well-
just doing errands?
Let's try the thing that we're right in front of first.
Oh, right. Yes, of course.
I will knock on the door.
Yeah. You knock on the door to Dimitri's place. There's no answer.
Hey, I just did this. How's the door
How's the
Like-
door?
in terms of
It-
waterloggedness?
It doesn't appear to be waterlogged. And if you do go to open it, it is unlocked, and you're able to push it open. And it just looks as though, yeah, it looks to be a pretty simple home, similar to the construction of the one that you were in, Lovelace. And I mean, it's similar to even your dad's place, Quidam. Just wooden floors. There's kind of a common area where you would do all the cooking and stuff. One difference with this place, it seems to only have one separated room, and when you open that, it appears to be the bedroom. The bed seems to be kind of in disarray, and there is some dark stains on it, like it hasn't been cleaned since whatever happened. But you don't... The floors are not spongy, there's not mold growing everywhere. You get the sense that since this victim died, maybe it was only like 5 days ago, that nobody has reclaimed this home yet, and it's still kind of in the state it was in before, like when this person died.
I would like to comb this place.
Okay, make a investigation check.
I would like to help.
Do it with advantage. Bots here. Oh, yay!
That's a whopping 9.
Yeah, I mean the really the only thing of note, but it's like the other victims. The bed, you can tell, was soaked in fluid, and it looks like there are definitely portions of it that are dried blood. So it's consistent with the way the other victims have perished.
Well,
Is there anything that like corroborates the like whole working at Hamhock here? Like
Yeah, I think
outfit?
if you look where the clothing would be, in fact, we'll say that it's probably hung up on the wall. You see, there's an apron hung there, and the apron has faded, kind of ruddy brown stains on it, similar to actually the one that you found, Lovelace.
Great.
yeah. Certainly that ain't an uncommon sight around here, especially. Well, we could swing by Hamhocks and make some inquiries there. I'd love to ask about this as well. Dad's memory's not what it used to be, and I don't know that he's remembering all of the details when Ada gets home. What I'm saying is I might want to come back around nightfall.
Sure.
All right. So you want to head to Hamhocks?
Sure.
I think so.
Okay. Well, it's not terribly far as you go back out onto the main road. There is this very large complex of pens and barns and stuff that you can see here right next to the wall. And as you're going down the main cobblestone road towards Basilisk Gate, you can see the primary building that kind of acts as the storefront, the butcher shop for Hamhock Slaughterhouse, right there on the road. Coming up to the building, you can see it as a large brick building that rises out of the mud, the front of which sports this smaller butcher shop. And you can see there are various meats hanging in the windows of the shop itself. Behind the structure sprawls the complex of barns and paddocks that are all filled with livestock, and the sound of squealing pigs and mooing cows accompanies the stench of iron and shit. So would you like to head on inside? Oh, and Lovelace, you spot that above the storefront, above the door, it says Hamhock Slaughter, and kind of in the center of it is that same crest with the boar's head and the 2 butcher knives under the chin.
Sweet.
Want to head on in?
Okay, so our story here is that 2 of the victims have worked here, and so we're looking for a connection, anything they might have been involved in.
Yeah, I think we should try to speak with another manager here. I think we can be pretty upfront and honest. Like, I imagine they're not thrilled that they've had a couple of employees die over the last few months. We're from the healer's crew trying to help.
Maybe with the goal, I'd like to talk to like anybody they were close to, like any close co-workers, I think.
Yeah,
people most
absolutely.
fruitful. Yeah. Do you want to take the lead or should I?
I can take the lead. I'm just gonna finish writing this one note and I'll be ready to go. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. All right.
Walk in.
All right. 2 of you walk on in. Let me just... Okay. You walk on in to Hamhock's, and you can see that there's these long wooden counters that section off the customers from the butchers. The counters are kind of angled slightly towards the storefront, and there's all sorts of cuts of meats displayed. There are also various cured meats and sausages and poultry just hanging from the rafters and the walls, and various shelves with spices and preserved goods. There are 3 men working behind the counter, and as you enter, 2 of them are just kind of absentmindedly working and chatting with each other, and the third one smiles and nods at you as you come in and steps up to greet you. And yeah, you see this kind of wiry looking guy with sideburns and kind of stringy arms as he steps up and wipes his hands on his apron. Hi there, can I help you?
Yeah, my name is Quidam. This is my friend Lovelace. We're here from the Healer's crew, actually.
All right. Well, my name's Otto. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Otto.
Are you looking for some meat or something, or don't
Not
really
as
get the
such.
Healer's crew in here?
Sure, I imagine you don't
Well-
much often.
Well, actually, that's not true. I mean, and he holds his hand up and you see his pinky's missing. You know, things happen around here with this type of stuff we work with.
I see. So maybe someone else has visited once or twice.
Well, yeah, I don't think I recognize either of you.
Fair. But we're here inquiring about a couple of deaths and or disappearances over the last few months.
Oh, yeah, that's, yeah, that's been a real problem, past 4 months.
Dimitri and
That's right. Let's see here, Dimitri, oh geez, poor fella, he went recently. Then there
Yeah.
was, Tatiana and, Felix, just before him. And then Eleanor. Yeah, we've lost a lot of folks, past 4 months.
I'll say, yeah, we would like to speak to someone who might know. Well, I suppose we would like to speak to your biggest gossip and also probably your manager. If they're the same person, that's fantastic.
Well, not sure who's gossiping around here, but, suppose the manager would be, Master Dlusker. I don't think he's in yet. He should be arriving any time now, if you don't mind waiting.
Not at all.
But, well, there was somebody who used to work here. That was a while ago now. Don't know where she went. Beatrice was a real gossip, I tell you what. But she's been gone for a while now, and well, I suspect the worst since her sister Eleanor passed a while back.
I see. When was the last time Beatrice was at work?
Oh,
Or did she quit, or did she just stop showing up?
she yeah, no, she quit. It was probably good maybe 5 or 6 months ago at this point.
I see. Do you remember the circumstances under which she quit? I mean, that.
Nope, I don't recall.
I would like to insight check that.
As would I.
Go for it.
I don't believe you.
Oh, that's lovely. 25.
Jesus.
I got a 14.
14, okay. Lovelace, I mean, he seems nervous, but that could just be because like almost all of his coworkers have been dying over the past 4 months.
I didn't think that was odd.
Quidam, you notice a couple things. You notice he got especially nervous when talking about Beatrice, and he also seemed to be very torn up by it. You also notice that he keeps looking over his shoulder at the other two employees, like almost expecting like he's gonna get in trouble.
All right, I think we found our gossip.
Yeah, I can't quite remember what happened. She just up and quit one day. That was it. Didn't see her no more.
All right.
Well, is there anything else I can help you with? Maybe get some fine meats while you wait for Master Dlusker to show up?
Sure. And I will take a rather long amount of time to pick out and purchase some, I don't know, a chicken.
Okay, sure.
And ask him, well, I actually, my dad's actually knew Dimitri, which is why, one of the reasons why I'm here is that, a friend of theirs seemed like a nice, friendly fella.
Yeah, he was a real shame for him to be gone. With all this going on, I just can't help but feel like this poor family's been cursed or something. All these hardships.
Oh, were they all related?
Oh no, I just mean this with. Well,
The Dluskers?
yeah, the Dluskers. It all kind of started a while ago, and and as he's kind of getting ready to talk further, you hear the clattering of hooves and a creaking of a wagon or a carriage coming up from the front. And he suddenly kind of straightens up. Well, that's probably Master Dlusker. I hope you don't mind. You were looking at a chicken. If you can just pick which one you like, and then I could start preparing it for you.
Here, I'll take this one. I'll just lift up some chicken.
Okay, and he eagerly grabs it and goes to the back, kind of looking over at the other two men who are just watch him as they keep carving up the meat they're working on, and he sets it down. And there's a moment passes, you hear kind of the carriage creaking outside, and then some heavy footsteps.
Can I get a beat on the other two while we have the slight pause?
Sure, make a perception check.
14.
Actually, sorry. Insight would probably be better. Would it be the same number?
No, it would be 16.
Okay. You just you get an expression on both their faces, like they kind of like scoff almost as he like walks by, and one of them kind of does like the kind of like fronting on you, like, and you see Otto kind of and go over and do his work away from them.
Poor Otto.
As
My heart
you
goes out to Otto.
as you hear these heavy footsteps coming up and the door open, you watch as a man walks through the door. It's a bunch of men, all these men.
Mans.
Mans. You see a short man with that classic V-shaped torso and chiseled jawline. His hair is slicked back. He wears a black vest covering a maroon, kind of poofy maroon shirt, and maroon pants with some dark riding boots. His black leather gloves rest on the pommel of a rapier as he kind of walks into the room, and he stops for a moment and looks over at the two of you, smiles, smiles at the two of you and kind of nods his head and he says, "What's this guy sound like?" Good day to you. I trust you've been taken care of here at Hamhock's Slaughterhouse.
Yes, thank you. I take
Quite welcome. And he goes to start to turn. You go ahead.
I take it you're Master Delusker?
Why, yes, I am.
Ah.
I hope you don't mind. I have quite a bit of business to attend to. If you'll excuse me.
Well, we do as well, actually. Business with you. If we could have some amount of your time, that would be most convenient.
Well, certainly. What is it about?
My name is Quidam. This is my friend Lovelace, and we are here from the Healer's Crew. We're inquiring about a few deaths that you've had over the past few months. We have a bit of information about them and would love to see if you have some for us.
Oh, well, certainly it's been really hard on all of us here.
Undoubtedly.
Used to be a bit of a family here, and it's just been getting torn apart. All of these deaths. Well, certainly. Would you like to come into my office? It might be a bit of a better spot to discuss instead of out here amongst all the meat.
That sounds good. I'll just take my chicken wing with me, shall I?
Oh, Otto, just wrap it up nice for them and leave it out here.
All right.
Well, follow me, and he will kind of lift up the little gate that kind of separates the butcher shop and the main area and leads you through the back, down a hall, and you can see there's a couple doors, and through one of the doors, you do the sound of a squealing pig becomes much more loud, and you can kind of hear a lot of effort of people behind the door and movement. And he leads you down the hall, opens up into a area of the butcher of this building that turns into hardwood floors. And he turns over and opens another door, leading you into this spacious office with dark hardwood floors. And you can see that towards the back there's a desk with a high-backed red velvet chair, and behind the chair there's a portrait of this man that you've just met. There's also a bookshelf to one side, and
I won't touch any of those.
yeah, bookshelf to one side, and then a very large round rug, kind of taking up the middle of the room. He heads over to the back and sits down in his chair, and I suppose there would probably be two other chairs in the room. He would gesture for you, and then he looks at you and just kind of, please make yourself comfortable as best you can.
You said that he came in with like other people as
No,
well?
no. It's just
it was
him.
just him?
Yeah.
Okay.
The sound that you heard, what it sounded like, it was a more industrial looking door, like a very large, big oak wooden door, kind of iron banded, and there was the sound of squealing pigs and people
Got it.
working.
I thought he came
on the
into
other
the
side.
shop originally with some footmen or something.
No, he was on his own. You didn't
Great.
look outside to see what his little, like, whatever his contingent would have been.
Retinue was.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So yeah, he sits down and, all right. Yes, it's been a horrible 5 months now, 6 months. Tell me, how much do you know?
We have been aware that there have been a series of odd deaths, mostly in Northchapel, over the last several months.
Many of my employees were living there.
Yeah, so we've heard. We don't want people to die. We don't want unusual deaths. We want to make sure that people are safe as much as possible. And this was just odd enough that the Healer's Crew took it upon ourselves to see if we could figure out what's going on.
Certainly. I've heard the rumors going around and the way that my folks have perished, and very strange indeed.
We were wondering if you might have any idea if there's any connection between these particular employees. I noticed that you said that you've been having trouble for the last 5 or 6 months, but the earliest death that we had was only about 4 months ago. Is there something going on beforehand?
My brother passed.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
He passed in a... He had a bit of a drinking problem, and we found him passed out in his bath. He had drowned from drinking too much, and ever since then it's just been getting worse with these deaths. So that's what I mean by 5 months.
I'll see.
That was back in
The
Nightall.
12th month. Nightall? Alright.
Nightall.
Did your brother have any enemies?
I mean, not particularly. We the Bluesker family we have a rivalry with one of the butchers here, and it can get heated, but something so petty. Surely you don't think he was murdered or something?
There's some sort of connection between all these folks. All of them have been drowned. Not in their bathtubs, I'm sure you know.
Yes, I did think it a bit odd that my brother had perished in a similar manner.
Well, I suppose perhaps a more useful question, rather than did your brother have any enemies, did he have any unusual friends?
No, he was a real by-the-books fellow. No. The only thing I can really think of is just the Guthmires. It's been a long... You know how it goes with the patriarchs and families and these long-running family rivalries. But... You really think that he could have been murdered by... Could it have been something as petty as that?
It's hard to tell. We don't have anyone as a suspect, really.
We do believe it's some sort of magical creature doing the
Yeah.
murders. So it may not be a strictly human sensibility, but we believe it to be fueled by human sensibilities, which is why we're asking about his personal life.
I see. Magical creature. What type of creature would that be?
A slithering tracker. An animated puddle of water that drowns its victims and dehydrates them. We've been to Candlekeep,
See.
and that's what the research points to.
Puddle of water.
I know it sounds odd.
What would motivate such a creature made of just a puddle of water to kill all these folks?
Well, it ain't just water's the thing. It's a relatively complex process to make one, but there is some kind of sentience to it. So we're looking at something that has an amount of intelligence, an amount of feeling to it.
An intelligent puddle. Wonderful.
You mentioned the Guthmires being strange friends. Who are they?
The
Rivals.
Guthmires, they own the rival butchery
Oh,
down the
got it.
road. Livian has always been one to very bitter woman runs that establishment over there. I think honestly, they haven't been doing well for the past couple of years. Everyone knows it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's been a few I can't think of the word. Just her being rude. Just whatever. But nothing I would think that would lead to murder.
Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily what we're looking for. Of the people who have died under your employ, we know that we know that Eleanor and Beatrice were sisters, although we don't know that Beatrice is dead. Do you know, like, Tatiana, Felix, Dmitri, were they friends? Were they enemies? Were they involved in something unusual or just entirely normal?
As I said, we were all like a family here, so we were all close.
I'd love to insight check that.
Go for it.
Uh, 22.
Quidam.
Quidam.
No, 22, yeah. I'm good at this. I'm good with people.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna give you a few things here with the 22. We'll say that you've been reading him throughout this entire conversation.
Lovelace has been busy suspiciously looking at the chairs. The books.
Reading where here we go. Okay. You notice that when he talks about his brother, there's a hint of contempt on his face. Just a flash. But there's nevertheless that pause that kind of shows like a micro expression. When
you tell complete strangers that your brother had a drinking problem, that's
with when you mention Beatrice, there's kind of a smug expression. Just this, I don't know, like, yeah, smug, just kind of pleased with himself. The big one though, or the 22, when you say slithering tracker, there's recognition in his eye.
Oh shit!
And you pick up maybe a bit of worried eyebrows.
Alright. That's good to know.
As I was saying, we were all like family here, and everyone was very close. We were all sad to see Beatrice leave, as you mentioned her, when she decided to leave our family. No one knows where she went.
She left about the same time your brother died.
I believe it was around then, yes. And, we asked Eleanor how she was doing, and, well, she said that she hadn't seen her in a while. And then, unfortunately, Eleanor passed. And then there was Felix, Tatiana, now Dmitri. Well, is there anything that we can do about this?
Well, I appreciate the question. Would you mind if we spoke to some of your other employees, see if they know anything?
certainly. We've had to bring in quite a few new employees, though, and really the only one left from our original group is Otto.
I see. I see.
But you're certainly welcome to speak with the others.
Thank you. And the Guthmeres, are
Yeah.
they similarly a family-owned business like you?
Yes, another patriarch family living in the fine Manor'side neighborhood.
Alright. Do I happen to know off the top of my head whether the Luskers are in Manor'side as well?
Make a history check. Also realize you haven't
Breezy Breezy says, I feel
Yeah.
watching an interactive kids show, saying to the screen, that's the bad guy. Really, the patriarch of the butcher's shop who recognizes the murder weapon? Nah.
Nah. What are you talking?
Smug about the disappearance of a woman?
15.
15. Sorry, the question was, do you know if they live in the manor? Yeah.
Yeah.
The Luskers do, and yeah. Maybe you actually remember, I don't know, maybe just from over the years, you do remember that the Hamhock Slaughterhouse, maybe when you went in there a few times or something, it was run by someone named Tristan.
Sorry, Hamhocks or Guthmeres?
Oh, were you asking about the Guthmeres?
I was asking where the Deluskers lived.
Yeah, the Deluskers live in Manor'side, and the Hamhock Slaughterhouse used to be owned by someone named Tristan.
Okay.
That was what you always knew it as Tristan Deluskers was the patriarch who owned and ran Hamhocks.
Okay.
How long ago did that change?
Well, I guess
Well,
as far as
I
you
think-
know, it is Tristan Delusker. You don't know. Actually, you didn't actually ask what this guy's name is. But yeah.
Is there
Oh.
like a little like
Little-
gameplay on the
little-
door?
Actually,
or like
the portrait,
Mhm.
does that have a name on it?
I'm trying to think. I feel portraits probably would have a name, right? If it's like a
Some do.
sure, yeah. It says Pask Glusker.
Pask?
Yeah, Pasque. Pask Glusker.
Alright.
what's your brother's name?
Oh.
By chance.
Tristan was his name.
I see. I think I've heard of him.
Oh yes, we ran the business for a while together, but he was always the front runner.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss, even though it sounded like your relationship may have been complicated.
Thank you.
Looks to Quidam for any other follow-up.
Well, maybe we should go to Guthmere's Cured Meats and ask a few questions, see if they know anything.
Oh, and please do let me know what you find out.
Certainly.
Of course.
I understand that you're concerned about folks. I think that's admirable in an employer. You don't find that much these days.
Oh, I know the reputation the patriarchs have. Well, thank you. And I should be returning to business here. But please just
Certainly.
let any of my employees up front know if you need to speak with me again.
Thank you. I will.
Thank you for your time.
I'll see you out.
Wow. I need to pick up my chicken.
Oh, of course, it'll be waiting for you.
And he leads you out, passes you the chicken, And are you gonna head out? We're about at 9 o'clock here, so we can do a quick little ending part. But
Couple more things.
yeah.
I would like to pay for my chicken.
Well, of course. Actually, he stops you as you pull your coin out, and he goes, "No, please. You're trying to help us here. You can take this,
Well, thank you.
of course."
And if there's any chance at all, I would like to make eye contact with Otto without him noticing.
Okay. Make a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of eye check.
Sleight of eye. I mean, it's weird. It's not a dex-based thing. But
How in tune is Quidam with Lovelace on this? Because Lovelace could do this while you're talking with the Patriarch about paying for the chicken.
I'm cool with that.
Fair, yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Because Lovelace also is concerned for this guy's well-being.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you do, Lovelace, as Quidam is finishing up this conversation? Maybe the two of you make brief eye contact.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And what do you do?
Look over at Otto.
Yeah,
Back up.
and I think Lovelace trots over, looks at some meats, and was like, God. Hey, I would love to get some drinks if you're available. I'd love to talk to you elsewhere.
Oh, you say that to Otto?
Yeah, like whispered.
Yeah. He goes,
Oh, well, I suppose I could do that. I don't know though. I mean, I kind of have my eye on someone else.
can you make a persuasion check to see if he can kind of like get what you're doing?
A wink really hard. That's a flat D20. That's a 9.
I'm real flattered, but I just don't know if I can really. I'm flattered. Thank you. What was your name?
My name's Lovelace.
Lovelace. All right. Well, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm interested.
I would love to inspect. Never mind. Well, that's a good
I'm sorry. I don't mean to hurt your feelings or anything. I'm not good at letting people. Honestly, this doesn't really happen to me. So I don't really know what to do now that I'm standing here.
You know what? I shouldn't have said anything while you're at your place of work. Sorry for putting you on the spot.
You hear the other two snickering behind him, as Otto's just kind of flummoxed, standing there.
Can I get you some more meat or something as an apology?
That'll be all, Otto.
All right. Well, okay. Bye now.
Sorry.
I want to pass him a note or something, but there's no good way to have done that. Slip him my number, except your life is in danger.
If you can think of something, not in fact.
If you change your mind, here's where you can find me.
Okay.
And
What do you write?
I think where I live, actually, because if he's in danger, it is good for him to know that.
Mm.
And also, I think just a quick note, you may be in danger. Let's talk. I will contact you later.
Okay. I think for this, I do need you to make a sleight of hand. I know you can fold it up easy enough.
Yeah.
But you are close enough to
Yeah.
to pass.
Well, I get a +2 at least. That's an 11.
Okay.
I'm not rolling
You're-
good today. This game's hard.
As you are writing the note,
Yeah.
Quidam, you notice that Pask starts to kind of look over at this commotion.
One more question, actually.
And that's enough, just enough. It looks like he was about to kind of look and see what you're writing. And then he kind of gets pulled back to the attention of Quidam as you fold it up, slide it across the table to Otto, and Otto just goes, "Look, ma'am, I just don't..."
It would make me feel so much
All
better
right.
if you just
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And he like as he reads it, and he just like puts it away and is like, okay, well, okay, thank you, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
What do you say to the guy?
Did Tristan, your brother, have any partners of any kind?
In what way? It was mainly-
Romantic partners. I know
Oh.
that you were the business partner.
Not that I was aware of. No.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. But both of you, pleasure. And he lets you out the door and heads on back in. And as you were walking out into the street, you can see the nice carriage that is parked there. It's a much smaller carriage, like a one-person carriage. It's almost like a rickshaw style carriage. And you see it's parked on the side, kind of the little bit down in the ground, and standing next to it, just idly eating some sort of lunch, you see a centaur, as they are just standing there next to it eating their lunch as you trot out. I don't know if it's anyone you recognize, Lovelace. Their name is...
I wasn't gonna ask.
Well, you walk by, and this is entirely up to you if you recognize them or not. But I'll leave it up to you. What, do you recognize this individual or not? And then I could give you a name if you do.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I mean, I gotta, right?
yeah.
I gotta.
You recognize this is Harath.
How do you spell that?
Harath. And as you were leaving the shop, you watch as Harath, eating his meal, just looks up and sees you, and then immediately turns a shoulder and just like turns away from you, back to you, and continues eating. And you can see that he's wearing a similar like maroon top with the crest emblazoned on it, and then like has this kind of nice saddle stuff going on for where the little rickshaw thing would hook up. Yeah. All right.
Cool. That's good to know.
And I think we're actually a little over time. Sorry, everyone. Thank you for hanging in there. I hope this was exciting. But as you,
1 more hour.
He's the bad guy.
as you,
Lovelace doesn't know.
as you leave the butcher shop and start heading down the street away from Hamhock Slaughterhouse, we are left with more questions to be answered to find out what happens next. And we will pick up next time here as Lovelace and Quidam continue being detectives, and yes, try to save Otto.
Save Otto. Oh, he's so cute.
I have theories.
Good. That makes me very, very happy. Just a quick little insight here. This part of the adventure is entirely homebrew, so I am like, well, not entirely. I took some stuff from other things, but yeah. So yeah, I've been like really nervous to run this part, but I hope you're having fun. I'm having fun, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we also announce? I forgot to do this at the top of the
Oh yeah.
show, but once we finish the slithering tracker,
Arc.
it's not a module
Situation.
adventure. There we go. We're gonna have another post-mortem stream.
Yeah.
So, probably Nathan has a better idea of this than I do. In 2 or 3 sessions.
I think maybe 3. We'll see. You got some real. Yeah, we'll see what you decide to do with the information you have. I'm hoping 3 sessions, but it's freaking D&D. I don't know. Things could could escalate.
Probably in September, we will be having another postmortem stream. We will be announcing this frequently. We will love to have more questions from you all about this past module, as well as any questions you have about character development or DMing stuff, behind the screen sort of things.
Yeah, this is essentially, so we actually finished the official module with the Amber Dune stuff. But I think it would have felt weird to end it there because we were already like midway through the Slithering Tracker arc. So we decided to combine the two. And yeah, once we finish this, those two adventures are kind of lumped into one. And I know this has been going on a long time because we're episode 12 now or something of Adventure 2. But yes, exactly what Claire said. Questions about all those things.
Yeah. So start thinking.
For the record, I had no idea that that's where the module ended.
Yeah.
It just seamlessly transitioned for me from a player's perspective.
Awesome. I mean, it was, yeah, well, we should save this for postmortem.
Okay.
I'll go into the reasons why it felt that way. So, okay.
Yeah. In chat, on any of our socials, you can email us if you want to. We have an email, it turns out.
Yeah.
What's the email?
storyrecklessgames@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, give us your questions if you want to.
If you want to keep your questions to yourself, you may.
All right.
Okay.
I think that's it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good night, everyone, and see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.